Hello, good morning, and welcome in to another episode of Good Morning NASDAQ, live with Don Master Mateo and Kyle Williams of Clover Trading.
Good morning,
Good
NASDAQ.
morning, good morning, good morning.
You know what we need to do? We need to record our voices just terribly singing like that and then like harmonize it and then make it uneven so then we just play it. You just have like a soundboard to just play it. Just our
I'm
awkward
so
voices on
in.
and off. Yeah.
Why is my camera not working? There we go, I'm moving.
Oh.
Hello, welcome in, everyone, you wonderful people out there. What do we have today, Kyle, for news?
Oh gosh.
I'm sure there's something about a boot camp.
And oh, of course. I think we've talked to management, if I'm not mistaken. And this weekend, I believe, is the final weekend. I know we have put off as long as we could to raise the prices, but if I'm not mistaken, I think this weekend is the final straw unless you get management to also bend and keep it going.
I don't know if I can do it this time
Yeah, I
around.
know. We can't promise anything. So this weekend is probably the official last weekend. You're going to get early bird pricings. I believe the tickets are going to go up 100 or so bucks. So if you want to save $100, buy your tickets now. Otherwise,
Save
try
that
to hold your
$100,
peace.
use it on Delta Comfort, you know?
Yeah, there you go. For your travel expenses. Um, Other than that, in terms of an actual, if you don't want to go to our boot camp, but you want to go Traders for a Cause, I believe they're actually sold out. If not, only have a couple tickets left. However, we have one, Clover Trading. There's a raffle between now and September 1st. If you buy a 3-leaf, 4-leaf, or a boot camp ticket, you are entered into that raffle to then win the Traders for a Cause ticket. Now, granted, you're going to have to pay for your own travel to get to Vegas and whatnot on November, I believe, 11th and 12th. But if you are interested and want to rent, like, just be in a raffle to be in a raffle and also get value of joining Clover, that's an option. Other than that, I think we went over recaps yesterday.
Yeah, get in the room, join
Yeah.
the community, join the rocket ship, 3 or 4 leave free trial in the description below. Get yourself a week, study, and you'll probably end up sticking around because that's what most people do when they get in there and they see how freaking awesome Kyle is every day. All
How
right.
much I make or lose on any given
Yeah,
day.
it's just
It's very
exciting.
amazing.
It's exciting.
Exciting
All
times.
right, Gapulation Station. What do we got? We have 175% 0.78. Mist Fresh MF.
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 That's not what I expected from MF.
I'll tell you what though. It's kind of a cool name, Mist Fresh MF.
Yeah.
Up 175%.
That's a lot.
Daily charts are working now.
So they reported earnings, it looks like. They had their annual report of their 20F filing. So they're foreign. Because a 20F is their earnings versus a 10Q. Very nice. Float looks low, so that makes
3.7 million
sense.
float
Yeah.
on 8/3/23. Dilution tracker wrote a whole paragraph on under their take, which is I feel like not a good thing. Usually it means there's some dilution they're talking about.
Right. They've got their strong opinion here.
Subscribe 5.4. Is that billion? That's billion. Class B ordinary shares of the company in aggregate for total purchase price of $27 million.
Wow. Billions for millions?
It
Sounds
is
like a good
millions for
deal.
millions. Okay. They have cash. That's really the only thing they have equity line. Not too concerned with anything I see. Just earnings, huh? Big move on pretty much a dead stock. Has a little volume bar below 2 million. That's at 155 ish, which is right around where we've topped out this morning. As I go further back on the daily,
See an intraday. Little top left to bottom right.
a little
Is
bit.
that
Kellogg's in
is
here.
that a sweet voice I hear? Sweet whisper in the background?
It's Sweet Whisper is Jack Kellogg.
But yeah, MF, it's just an awkward situation where if I was a long trader, I really would feel uncomfortable buying something up 180%. And then as a short bias trader that I am, I look at this and I just think to myself, unless I can do a deep dive and to see that they actually can dilute, a low float on earnings is really a bad solution. for
On
a
a
short seller like
Friday?
me. Yeah, on a Friday.
Slow week.
So, and yeah, unless there was really a deep dive and proving that they had a lot of dilution that they could sell today, which I really don't feel like I'm in the mood for doing. Rarely ever. That's why I don't really short cap and traps a ton. It just would be no play for me here. Because even though 200% is a lot, it could go higher. But is it high enough to buy in? You know, if you're buying a gap wrap 200%, hoping for another 200%, I would just, you know, my personal, I would just call you greedy, you know. So not really sure what to do with it. Possibly no play, which is totally fine.
Yeah, this daily chart though has so much range. Every time you go back another 100 days or another year, like you can get a few more dollars a share to the upside. So there's really no volume that even compares to today already. We're already over 20 million in pre-market. This is one where I wouldn't definitely am not buying. I'm not about the one buying a stocks up 180% of the day, but I am about praying and hoping they go 4, 5, 6 lower float like this one. Um, General good news. Wait, they got their notice of market value of public health shares deficiency and minimum bid price notice. Um, so I'm just
Yeah,
kind
there
I
you
would
go.
just kind of be praying and hoping that it goes as high as possible because this is the type of chart where I think it could catch a couple people off guard. You have anything to say about it, Kellogg?
I think it's a short.
He thinks it's a short. And Kellogg has spent a considerable amount of time this year shorting day ones. What do you see anything specific that would get you to say that?
Because it's gapping up over 100%.
Okay.
And
Can you hear him, Kyle?
Yeah, I can hear. Don't feed me Kool-Aid,
yeah,
Kellogg. I don't want to ruin
Because
my
it's up
Friday.
100%. That's what he said.
Yeah, it's just duh.
but it has to
Everyone knows that.
open
This is so
30
casual.
minutes closer to like 170 to 2 because
He said it's got to open higher towards 2.
if it opens at 140 or 130 or 120, it's not a trade.
All right,
It's gotta,
that's fair.
It's
I
got
can see
to
that.
push more.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's...
I was thinking the same thing about TUP, probably another gapper on our list here.
TUP is number 2, so let's go there.
There we go.
And we don't need to do a deep dive because we've been talking about it for 2 weeks.
Yeah. They put out I believe they finally, was it their earnings? But they, along with their earnings, came with
I thought it was a restructuring or something, wasn't it?
well, yeah, it was the ultimate news that squeezed it was that they're restructuring their debt, but I think
Yeah.
they put it out in a 10Q in form NT 10Q. So whatever that means in terms of how they're restructuring their debt, they're clearly staying alive for longer. And whoever thought the opposite, aka whoever was short, got a rude awakening and got squeezed pretty much 100% in after hours from 350 all the way up to 7. Now kind of we're gapping up, but we're down off the highs from 7 to 550 here. You know, again, I was, you know, I had put on my watch list if we had had a massive insane gap to like 9 or 10, then I would be like, okay, you know, this is probably too much too soon. And then I would actually look for a short, kind of, I think the same thesis or thinking that Kellogg has on MF, just something too much too soon, you know, up to 9 or 10. The fact that we're at 550 here, we're right at that breakout level of the mid $5s to $6 from, what was it, earlier this week,
Yeah.
Monday or Tuesday, right? I just, I don't know really what to do with it. I could see it dying. I could see it holding and breaking out. This isn't really a framework or a setup kind of channel or, you know, tunnel for me that I look at this, I'm like, I really don't know what to do with it. In my mind, I hope it keeps running. You know, I hope it then does run to 9 or 10. Then we have another trade for me. Or consolidates here and then breaks out in 3 days over 6. You know, that could be a sick thing too.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I don't really know what to do with it. Just kind of in limbo right here.
Yeah, I kind of tend to agree with the doing nothing part. It's kind of tricky because we're at this point now, and this would be where a difference to me between like an organic daily chart and something where, you know, something's happened, right? If you see a stock that looks pretty normal, it's running like a normal in the part of a normal life cycle of a stock, and then has a 50% gap down, right? Something happened, right? Whether it was an offering, whether it was bad news, and the same type of thing where TUP is, having a second red day. Wicks up yesterday, so patient shorts are actually getting rewarded, and it's still well above where it came from. And then it wakes up basically 100% higher from 3 into the 6s and the 7s. it kind of throws a loop through the chart because it makes everything kind of restart. Because
Right.
you can't just buy 580, call it a breakout when it's a $3 a share gap.
For that GNS situation.
Same exact type of thing. What do I expect to happen? The top's already in and little fade if that's GNS. But yeah, it's gapping right into resistance, which I think is a good thing. If this chart is going to have any more legs for future, like actually stay in play for another week, it probably couldn't have gone 6, 7, 8 today and then died because it would have kind of scratched the breakout and the first red day. But if it were to top out, kind of hold up, and then make a higher low or so for the next 2 or 3 days, and then break through 6, I think that could be kind of exciting and fun. Tup, not going away. Trying to stay in our lives as long as possible. I thought it was going to be done, and then we were just going to sit back and wait for our first green day, but nope.
Nope. They're here.
It's like Nikola. They
They
want to stay on the list as long as possible.
Nikola went to 270 today this morning.
Really?
And Nikola posted earnings. They were on a little gap down today. Because their earnings weren't great. Shocker.
I can't believe that.
I was really expecting just blowout earnings.
We warned in the webinar yesterday, if you're a Clover, if you're not a Clover and you lost money on it, you know why.
You know why.
What's next? AHI. That's an oldie from a couple months ago, I believe. Yep.
Ahi. I always think of Ahi tuna when I see this ticker.
Yeah, but it's better. It's advanced health intelligence.
There you go. Nice. Okay, previous runner back in June.
4 million flow. I believe they were AI. They're Human Imaging is the company.
This it looked like a low flow at the moment I looked at this chart. Very wiki. It's 16. Holy moly.
16 what?
Dollars.
The price?
Unless it's a reverse split, which is where it used to be, right? I mean, that's what I'm imagining.
Oh, yeah, no, I believe that did happen.
Okay, so actually,
I remember that first green day I was looking at it like licking my chops, and it never did anything. I was like,
what's that?
Wait, no, this is reverse split definitely because this was like in the pennies, right? This was like under $1 when it was down here, and it was like 2 or 3, I think.
Got it. Okay.
Let me find it. I guarantee you, it has to be a split. Well, it's not here, but do you see it? It is definitely. Are they Chinese? Yeah, a ton of 6Ks and 20 Fs.
Their headquarters is in Washington.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. If I see that correctly.
I can't find it definitely is a split. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
What do you think here? What do you think?
So this is a chart that I've seen pretty frequently where like it has one big run and then it fades off back to its lows. But as it fades off, it has 1 or 2 days every few weeks of pop back, like a balance, like a reattempt. Because when you're dealing with former runners, people will remember tickers. So everyone got probably all excited and maybe made some money when it ran from call it 2 to 16 post split. And so when it gaps up again or any kind of volume comes in, people have it's like muscle memory, right? People like remember, oh, this was the runner I made money on, or oh, this is the runner that went nuts, or if you're along and missed it, like this is the runner I missed out on, but it's gapping up again. Let me rebuy and like participate. And so as a short seller, I'm looking at this only up 20%. This is nowhere near and a low float, and seeing how high it could run in the past, I don't want to touch this short in a million years unless it got more extended. And so if I'm a long, unfortunately yesterday it gapped up a bit from 3 to like 4 and then held 4, and now it's gapping up from 4 to 5. So it's entering a bit extended, but the same token, like in the same coin, like, again, I look at the daily chart and think this has had good bounces, so I'm a bit long bias here. Again, it's nothing I would play because I just don't know it, but I feel like maybe I completely off here. If I was like a rolling wolf, I probably would have been looking at it yesterday for a long or today if I have that style. Maybe
does your chart say yesterday was the move where it runs from 3 to 5?
Pretty much, yeah.
I have that as 2 days ago, and then yesterday's like I don't know. This chart must be wrong. Okay, I was gonna ask, were they halted all day yesterday? What happened?
No, they traded. Looks like they had a full trade, and on Wednesday it closed at 310. It opened up at 410. hit a high of 5, and then closed at 414. So it had this just sideways day pretty much after the morning.
Yeah, I just have a broken chart. Something's wrong with these daily charts. Yesterday they weren't even working. Today
Yeah.
it's a day off, or yesterday doesn't even exist. Yeah, interesting. Another one where I think, I'm not going to do anything today. Let the stock guide me, kind of let it force me to trade it. And to do that, it would probably have to spike into 8, 9, 10 or
Actually,
extend itself for a couple days. What?
your charts are not wrong. Mine are the same. As I look closely here, it actually does say 8-3, which was yesterday, is just like illiquid and sideways. Maybe that's the day they did the split. No one really cared.
Okay.
Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
If I had to guess. But
Okay. Yeah, spikes. Not 8, 9, 10 would have to be enough for me. I'm not going to touch it today. I don't really mess around with these bad boys. But the way I would trade a chart with so much previous resistance from so recently, I always look at them a little more bearish than bullish. Once we are proven to be so far from the breakout level that I don't think that's possible anytime soon. So I'd be drawing my lines at resistance points on this chart and seeing what it spikes into. And if it doesn't spike enough, then I just really wouldn't be all that interested.
we're getting some comments in the chat saying AHI was halted. So maybe to release some news, and then they did release said news, and now it's gapping up, if I had to guess. So
it's so funny that's like the second one recently where I think SNMP, where they're halted basically the whole day, and then they still end up going higher. Like,
yeah.
that does not put the fear of God into any of these people, I guess, when
Nope.
their stock is just not
Halts are-
trading anymore.
Yeah.
It's positive news these days.
I had a revelation about halts yesterday, and I finally kind of understood why they happen. Maybe it's like completely off topic from the stream, but like I always thought halts were just like they had no point. I'm like, why? Like, this is silly. Like, let's just trade. But then I realized, I'm like, when you're dealing with super illiquid tickers, or you're not even liquid, but you're just illiquid, but when you're dealing with maybe a liquid ticker, but it just runs so quick, so fast in some direction, because leverage exists if you're long or short, like you almost have to have it. Like, it makes sense that like if you're leveraged long or leveraged short and something halts up or down, or sorry, not something, and something doesn't halt up or down insanely quick, like say down 50% in less than a minute, like it is so like traumatizing so quickly to anyone's account that like if it's in, at least if it's in market hours, of course that can happen in pre-market or post-market, but in regular market hours, it made sense to me that like halts exist to like just pause it and let you gather your thoughts on what on earth is going on. I was like, oh, I kind of get it, because I used to hate halts. It's like, why are we halting? Like, let's just trade.
I was just thinking like a t-shirt that Kyle could be wearing, like, let's just trade, smiley face. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like split. I've always kind of thought halts are unfair to everyone, because I feel like there needs to be some window that's like where this stock is going to be halted in the next 5 minutes. So if you don't want to be in that, exit your position one way or the other, because like if it was guaranteed that the open after a halt was going to be the exact price that it closed at, then I would say, yeah, take a break, let everyone take their thoughts.
Right, but it's not. Yeah.
But when you can halt something, and something like this, like news pending, right? Good news, bad news. It's really just about what's the current state of the market. Are people fearful right now? Are they ambitious? Like, because that's going to decide if it gaps up or down. If the news isn't life changing or horrible, I don't know. I don't like the idea that, especially that you can be paying for something every single night. Like, you're short something, and like what's halted right now? MEOA still? Is that still halted?
Oh, probably.
Whatever, something like that. Recently, there was another one.
Or BT something X,
GTTA or something, or yeah. And you're just paying for it, like, not fair that you could be paying till the end of time for something that's not even trading. So that bothers me. But I'll just keep it simple, like Kyle said. Let's keep trading. Just keep trading. Yeah. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. All right. Any questions in the chat? What do you call this thing? Scanner's getting a little... Oh, AAOI back a little bit.
AAOI?
Yeah, I've deleted this one. It's not a runner. It's not a runner.
I know it's gonna just held itself for 2 or 3 weeks here. Pretty impressive. They're the ones with the deal with Microsoft, yeah. So
So
definitely a little bit
they're going to be
legit.
hanging around probably for a while.
I would say so, yeah. Pretty
Let's
sweet buy
see.
if you bought it when they announced that partnership like in the fours. So
Dude, YELL. You are looking cute.
that's another gapper, small gapper, 14%. Also,
Yeah,
a runner.
they did that thing yesterday where they close it like they're gonna gap it down 50% and then bounce it right back after hours and
Yeah.
gapping sideways right now. Really, really interesting week. Like there wasn't that many. I talked about this in the webinar yesterday with Four Leaf. Not that many stocks to talk about, but a few patterns to play. Breakouts versus red days, parabolics, low price, high price. All within just a few stocks. Nikola, Yell, Tup. What's it called? What's Tattoo? TTOO.
Yeah. TTO.
Which is probably
Small gap down today.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, really interesting week, and I think it's kind of our job when we're scanning and we're gapulating is to find out what the temperature of the market is, temperature of small caps, kind of runners are we getting. And I feel pretty good about where we're at. This wasn't a week where every time we showed up for Good Morning NASDAQ, there was a 200% runner and that stock continued all week. But it was a week in which the stocks that we started Monday talking about are still in play. And that is kind of a cool situation. I'm sure Kyle's rooting for Tup and YELL to go a lot higher because that makes them better plays that he can nail next week. And I'm hoping they set it for breakouts. But temperature feels good heading into pretty much the end of summer now. It's kind of hard and weird to say. People will be going back to school this month, right? Colleges will be back. It's
Colleges, high school,
it
everybody.
flies, man. Summer flies. But pat yourself on the back if you've survived summer trading, if you've gone from unprofitable to profitable in summer trading, if you've learned something new. It was actually kind of an interesting summer. And as we start to dwindle towards the end of it, I get pretty excited because we got hunting, we got college football, and usually that means we get plays. And hunting is one of my favorite things.
We get Santa Claus.
And then we get Santa Claus after Thanksgiving. Santa Claus. Was that Vacation or something? National Lampoon. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us this week on Good Morning NASDAQ. Believe it or not, Michael Hudson will be around next week to join me on the show. So big round of applause for Kyle Williams joining this week at 5:45 every day a.m. Really grateful for that.
Really, such a great guy.
Such a great guy. You already know. This weekend, tell your friends, tell your grandma, tell your brother, buy a boot camp ticket because prices are going up. We cannot stop management once they get an idea and we fought it long enough. Prices are going up, unfortunately, and we are about 3 weeks away, 22 days. So get your tickets, get your travel figured out. I need to get my travel figured out. But should be really fun, really exciting. So we'll see you 8:45 a.m. Monday morning. And wish me luck. I have a big golf tournament this weekend. So thank you, everyone.
Very nice.
Have a wonderful Friday, and we'll see you over in the Clove Room.
Peace, everybody. Later.